Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the replacement of the fuel gauge on a Kawasaki Bayou four-wheeler. This gauge has been exposed to sunlight for quite a while, and as you can see here, can't even quite read it, so it'll be a much needed improvement. This is just a brief shot of the tools I used, nothing too major. First step, you're going to want to take your seat, pull the drawstring in the back, lift up on the rear of the seat, and get that thing out of there. Next step will be removing these two screws that are located underneath the seat, attaching this top body panel on top of the fuel tank. Also remove the fuel cap here. Next step, in the front of the unit, remove these two screws, securing this front body panel on. Just a side note, these two screws will be slightly longer than the first two that you took out, but we'll remind you of that again upon replacement here farther down the video. And once they're out, you can remove this body panel, set it aside. And then for the reverse safety switch, get your channel locks, loosen this retaining nut, put it in a safe place and push that safety switch through the molding. Repeat that same process for the ignition switch. They're different size nuts, so that helps with assembly and disassembly. Once those are pushed out, you can lift up and then backwards on this body panel that covers the fuel tank. Once that's done, use a little pry bar to get this foam gasket out of the ring of the fuel gauge. And just for safety's sake, put your fuel cap back on. And then I use this little pry bar to remove the retaining ring for the existing fuel gauge. There are 3 barbs in this ring that lock it onto a rib of the fuel gauge, so be very careful when removing it. Then this dental pick I use to pry in between the fuel gauge and the fuel tank. That aided me to get a grabbable surface to get this thing out of the way. And then here's the good comparo of new versus old. So I've got this off Amazon, links in the description, worked wonderfully. Here, there's a little bit of grime, dirt, whatever, I'm just cleaning that out of where the new gauge is going. And I take the new gauge. Half tank is orientated to the 12 o'clock position relative to the direction of travel of the unit. And then you get it in there, and it's almost like a press fit, so don't be afraid to push down a little bit on it once it's in the hole. And then we take the new ring, and again, also kind of a snap button fit to get those barbs over the ribs. And once it's in there, it should look like this. You'll notice that notch is up at the half tank line. That's a critical alignment. Put the foam washer back on, and then take a little time to get rid of any dirt or anything that's sitting in between the tank and the body panel. And then remove your fuel cap, set that aside. Then that top body panel, you can get that back into approximate position here. Slide it over the filler neck of the tank and the new fuel gauge. And then from the front, the reverse safety switch, you'll get that aligned through the hole. You'll notice that there's a keyway on this switch that aligns with a channel in the molding. You want to make sure they're aligned. Same with on the blind side here where I'm messing with the ignition switch. Same concept, make sure that they're aligned and push it through the panel. And once they're through the panel, then we can start our next step, which is anchoring this panel down here. So you're going to want to push down first, and then once a good contact's made, slide it forward to engage the snaps of the panel mold. And then you can put your fuel cap back on, thread the vent hose through the handlebars. Then our 4 screws that we removed, you'll take the 2 shorter ones of the 4 and you'll reinstall them back underneath the seat location here. And make sure they're good and snug. I didn't go anything too crazy on torque, just a snug fit. Then you can take your safety switch retaining nut, spin that on. And I spun that on till it was finger tight. Then I take my channel locks and I put about 1/8 to 1/4 turn on it, over finger tight. Don't go too crazy. It's just plastic on plastic. And then same concept on the blind side here for the ignition switch. And then after they're done, you can reinsert this front molding. It's pretty tight in between that and the rack. And then take your 2 longer screws and drive them home. And basically they're just trying to secure body panels together. So again, don't have to go too tight. And once that's on, insert your key back in, throw your seat back on until you hear a good click. And then boom, that's the project. You're off going with a new fuel gauge you can actually read and enjoy for your next ride. And ride with more confidence because you'll know how much fuel you actually have instead of trying to guess. So with that, guys, thanks as always for watching. Any questions, just feel free to post them in the comments and we'll catch you on the next vid. See ya.